Good day and welcome. Matthew here again. We have Manufacturers round 10. Lago Maggiore? How do you say that? Somebody can tell me how you pronounce that, that'd be great. I'd love to know. Anyways, round 10, Manufacturers Cup. This is after the physics change first race. My replay has corrupted or not saved correctly, so we only get up to the first pit stop, which is end of lap 4. Spoilers. So we're just going to see some quite intense racing. It was really fun. I do not like what they've done with the tyre wear, or how the tyre wear has been affected by the physics change, or how the Ferrari reacts to tyre wear in general. So hopefully we see some improvement coming soon, or just less tyre wear overall, because once it gets to half its rears, it becomes very difficult to keep in a straight line. And with the current tyre wear rates, it's very easy to get to half your rear wear tyres. Rear wear tyres? There. Good is that. Anyway, it was some good battles up until then, and even after that point. But up until then, we've got these two going at it, side by side. Blackwater, or Witter, trying to go side by side, or not really giving the nice racing room required through that left chicane, and picks up a 2-second penalty for his efforts. I wasn't going to wait for that. I wanted his position and to chase down Cold Blood. I qualified 9th, as you saw. I felt I was faster than 9th. I felt I was, had potential for 6th. Somebody dropped out on the load, so I gained a position. Actually, I qualified 10th and gained a position to 9th, and I felt I could reach 6th by the end of the race. Starting on softs, I was going to do 4 laps on softs, 5 laps on mediums, just because the Ferrari wear, I don't believe it was a struggle to get softs to go 4 laps, let alone 5 laps. Even with less fuel in the thing, I don't think they will do 5 laps. So that was the plan. And for this one, because I've only got half a replay, I'm just going to stay on board and commentate really my thoughts and process as we go around. So I'm just going to do this in one take, because I can't skip forward or back or jump about, because it just freezes every time I do it. But anyway, I thought I was faster than Cold Blood. I saw CRR Ranger and Conzio battling up ahead, so I thought if they keep battling each other, I might be able to get ahead of one of those guys. Go check their tyre wear. Not bad. All softs. Softs all the way through. Anyway, as you saw, Cold Blood just went a little bit wide at the hairpin on the exit, so it puts me right on his tail. And this is the first point I noted with the FR cars. They seem to have trouble with the quick left turns. A lot more difficulty than they have in the past, so I quite easily got on the back of him through there. Got a good run. Got in his draft. Even though the Vet has a higher top end than the Ferrari, it was not enough for the position I had, so easy does it. Bring it down to the apex and take the position away. And I knew the Vet would try to get me back up the hill, but I just need to hold the inside line for that left-hander, because there's no way, unless you've got massive speed difference, there's no way a car can go around the outside of you there. And if they are on the outside, then you're likely going to get an edge taking the inside line, and then be able to take a normal racing line through that following right-hander, which is really only one line through. Otherwise, both cars, if they go side by side, they really have to compromise their speed. Ranger goes a little bit wide in the last corner, and so I thought I'd have a sniff, not for this corner, but I thought that's excellent. I'm going to be able to maybe get him by the long straight, and I really wanted to hunt him down and then get onto Conzio. Turns out Conzio was probably just a bit slow with the battle with Ranger, because he just starts to eke out a lead and gets away, and I don't really see much from him for the rest of the race. But plan was, I thought I had Cold Blood quite comfortable behind me. He actually really deep on the brakes into this corner, I think. Or just takes a better line than I did. That corner was a bit difficult for me, and I kept on braking too late into it. I think I've learned since then. But Cold-Blood, not Cold-Blood, I mean Ranger just up ahead, a little bit wide through that first left-hander. Compromises his line, he understeers a bit on the exit, so puts me onto his back. I thought I might have a run into the hairpin again, but a little too far back for a big dive. And I don't want to dive right in and then have the rear end step out and burn my tyres. I really had to stretch out this stint to make it go 4 laps. Just a tyre wear check. Yeah, the fronts are really burning away. His rears are the same as mine. That's incredible. Bit of a fast run, a bit of a look. He comes in a bit, so I get a bit nervous. Puts me sideways a little, which I didn't appreciate, mostly because I know the rears are going to go pretty hard in the next lap or two. But that was fine. And then back onto the back of him, trying to get a good run through here. Which, I guess with this tyre wear, I do manage to get a good run. Have a look up the inside. The inside is not the place to attack unless you really dive deep and cut them off from the next right-hander. So he had the position, he understeers wide, as you can imagine with those tyres. I was glad I wasn't around the outside because I probably would have been pushed off. Braking quite heavily into there for lap 4, or start of lap 4. A little bit sideways, just trying to get as much drive as possible. I still felt I had the tyres under me to do this. So I have a look up the inside, going to outbrake him. And the car steps out from me. I couldn't believe it, I was really surprised by that. I gathered it up just. He loses a position to Racer, where they go into this next section side by side, which gives me a nice run onto them. And we've got K Youngster following, who actually started 19th and did last, up into 9th already. Really good pace from the Beetle. But because of their battle, I get onto the back of them. I make it 3 wide. I was a bit nervous after that first hairpin that I wouldn't be able to stop it down here. So I really concentrated on stopping it and pulling it up at the apex. Just stopping it as I could. K Youngster gives me a wee bit of a tap. And then getting as much drive as I could. I knew in a straight line the car's safe. Have to start lifting through here now. And now you watch the rear tyres just absolutely disappear. Really slow through here, bit of a slide, really slow through this next corner. On throttle a bit just to try to balance it. And then the last left hand I've just got no confidence in. This is the best 4th lap I've done to this date. Every other lap forward ended in a spin, so I was pretty proud of that one. And that was it. The replay corrupted or didn't save properly. I think I figured out that if I've got less than 100 megabytes of free space, then the replays don't seem to save properly and they give me issues. So I'm going to try that. I don't know for sure, but I think that's a bit of a theme that's been going on for a while now. So I only got to the pit stop and then the replay stops. So after the pits, just to give a bit of a story about the rest of the race, I jumped on the medium tyres. I lost out to K Youngster pretty quickly, followed by Cold Bloody Racer. And then I think Ranger just ahead, he also got me when I was on the mediums. I fell back to 9th. I eventually got Ranger back, but I didn't quite have the pace to catch up to the Corvette. So even though I was not racing Brian F, who runs a Corvette, as Psydog eloquently pointed out to me, that I still finished behind a Corvette for what, the 5th manufacturers race in a row. Just they're my curse at the moment. So next time I'm determined not to finish behind a Corvette. But next time, who knows what's happening. We have no schedule as of right now. The First Nations Cup schedule is up and the tyre wear is a little bit better. So hoping more of the same from manufacturers. You know, more of the same of less tyre wear in the future. A little bit more fuel burn. Would go down a treat as well. It'll help the Ferrari, because Ferrari is very good with its fuel usage. But who knows what's going on in the future and when it all starts. I believe it's next Saturday, side by side with Nations, but we're all kind of in the dark at this stage. So until then, I'll carry on doing Nations content and jump back on the manufacturers when it goes live. Thanks for watching, thanks for staying along, and we'll catch you next time.